Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. And when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And this time, I was wrong. Let's cue to music and we'll talk about it. Alright, first off, what was I wrong about? Well, live service games apparently. Well, maybe I'm not 100% wrong all the time, but I always say the live service games, they're hard to break into, and that's definitely correct. But this time it looks like we may have one that has broken the code, and this might be a contender to take down or at least break into the market a little bit, and it might be a competitor to games like Overwatch and stuff like that. It's called Marvel Rivals. If you do any type of gaming, you may have heard of it. It's making some waves out there and people are absolutely digging it. Marvel Rivals reaches 10 million players worldwide and keeps momentum due to awesome gameplay. So this is what players want. They don't want Concord. They don't want Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Yeah, that was it, right? Yeah. They don't want stuff like that. They want this. They don't want X Defiant. They want this. So the gaming world has a new contender for the crown, and its name is Marvel Rivals. Less than a week after its highly anticipated release on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S, NetEase Games has announced an astonishing milestone. The game has surpassed 10 million players worldwide. Even more impressive, the game appears to be gaining steam with its audience rather than cooling down after a blazing hot start. Yeah, a lot of times these games will come out and they'll hit the ground running, man. They'll be out there and they'll be boom, boom, a bunch of people playing and they're going to be like, this game sucks, So after the first day or two, it just peters out and slowly trickles down to about nothing. Doesn't look like it's happening with this one. And people say, well, it's Marvel, Well, it doesn't always help to have a branded IP. I mean, look at Suicide Squad. This is DC, right? It doesn't always help, In just 72 hours, we've reached an incredible milestone of 10 million players worldwide. We want to extend our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you. Let's ignite the battle together. NetEase, developer of Marvel Rivals, is quoted as saying, released as a free-to-play smart hero shooter on December 6, 2024, Marvel Rivals combines the dynamic gameplay style of Overwatch with the vast, colorful universe of Marvel Comics. That formula has struck gold as evidenced by over 480,000 concurrent players who flocked to Steam alone during the game's opening weekend. Wow, 500,000 players. Concurrent player numbers appear to be holding relatively strong, an indication the game may see growth over time and a huge return on investment. This surge propelled Marvel Rivals into the top 5 most played games on Steam, standing shoulder to shoulder with giants like Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, and PUBG Battlegrounds, while also competing with Path of Exile 2 on its release weekend. That's another game you may have heard of. Anyway, Marvel Rivals is off to a blazing start. Even the most super-powered debuts come with growing pains. Early feedback from players has highlighted some areas needing improvement. The game seems to rely on spam attacks a bit too much, and the game's version of tanks might not be enticing. Enough players and a lack of satisfying hit feedback is a problem when dealing damage. Overall, however, the game is remarkably well balanced for a launch with over 30 characters, many of whom received no beta testing by players. This has the potential to be something huge, so if the momentum continues with this, if you know anything about Marvel, I grew up with Marvel comics as a kid, I grew up in the not the golden age of comics, but I grew up when Chris Claremont was doing the X-Men. He was writing for the X-Men and all that. I remember the Dark Phoenix saga and some of the greatest stuff there. I remember when Todd McFarlane took over for Spider-Man and he put out his own Spider-Man comic for a little while. I remember when Jim Lee took over for the X-Men and you had Rob Liefeld doing the New Mutants, and then he started with X-Force, and we had Wills Portacio doing X Factor, I believe, and then they all went off to, I think Valiant Comics was the other comic thing. They all left and did their own thing, and so much craziness going on back in those days. Some great stories. Deadpool, I was there when Deadpool was created. I had the first issue of Deadpool showing up. I think it was in New Mutants 99, I think it was, or 87, somewhere right around there. I had it. Cable was big. He just popped up on the scene recently and all that. I had all that stuff. So those were great times in comics back then. It was long before comics went in the toilet. So, but there's such a rich history and so many characters to pull from the history of Marvel that they will never run out of new characters to add to this game. And they could do some cool themed stuff. They can have, the invasion of the mutants. They can go and do, they can tap into certain types of things like the magical stuff and go into Doctor Strange's universe and side characters from him like, Cleo and Magic and Nightmare and Mephisto and stuff like that. All these wild different ways you can go about things. You can go into the Fantastic Four. They tended to do some of the more cosmic stuff and scientific stuff, and so there's a lot of, and basically an endless supply of characters that you can add into this game or rotate in and out, however they want to do it. I don't know, but the potential for growth is there, and there's a potential for forever growth. Basically, if they do it right, this could be a huge game for a long time. Anyway, despite these early and relatively minor hiccups, the numbers speak volumes about the potential of Marvel Rivals. A vibrant blend of iconic Marvel characters and fast-paced team battles has proven to be a recipe for success, even amidst fierce competition. The game's free-to-play model, paired with its instantly recognizable IP, has helped it stand out in a crowded market. And that's important. Now, we all know about Concord's huge failure for Sony this year. And Sony thought that was going to be their Star Wars, apparently. This is what they were talking about. It was going to be as big as Star Wars. They had all this stuff planned for it, all this stuff tied into it that they wanted to do, which was kind of insane to bank on all that on an unknown IP, right? You don't do that, man. You don't do that, especially an IP as terrible as that one. It just had nothing about it was cool. It had really lame looking characters. They were stupid. They were ugly. The art design was terrible. The game it had nothing to draw people in. They put pronouns in it to make it more divisive and all that. This game looks great. People are loving the art design to it. It's got characters, like I said, recognizable IP instantly. Everybody knows Spider-Man. Everybody knows Wolverine. Everybody knows these characters. And you can put heroes and villains in there and make them interchangeable, and that's what's fantastic about it. You can throw Venom in there, you could have a team with Venom and Spider-Man on it and working together, so that's what's really cool about this. And so there's an endless combination of characters that you can have on here. And there's some growing pains, like they said, with the balancing of characters. Tank characters, I guess, aren't working that well, and that's fine. They'll have some time to balance these things out and to tweak these characters and to make them give or take a little bit for them and all that. That's fine. And if the MCU continues to be a thing, which it looks like for now it's going to be, they could actually do some tie-ins with that to kind of play off of it to, keep the interest alive. If there's a new movie coming out, they could feature characters from that movie getting a new skin or, being featured in the game or something like that, if they're not in the game. I don't know if they'll rotate and retire characters or things like that. Who knows? But there's so much that they can do with this. If they do it right and they continue to go with what they're doing and it's working, the characters are sharp looking, the art style, people are really enjoying the art style. For me, it's, it's okay. It's comic-y, it's good. It's not over, it's not really goofy looking, it's comic booky. It's not hyper realistic, and it's not overly obnoxious like Concord was, or like Fortnite-y. It doesn't have that Fortnite look to it. If you understand what I'm saying about there, it's comic booky. The characters look cool. They look like comic book characters. They're fun. So I think it's going to continue to be a success for a while now. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how the monetization is working on it right now, but I'm sure there's plenty of skins to buy, but the basic character skins themselves look pretty sharp, and that's important. You want to have, the basic characters look decent, but then you want alternative skins to look really nice, because that's what, that's what sells these things. That's what keeps these games in business, is the skins, right? Kids get on and they see that new skin. Oh man, I want that new Wolverine classic brown and tan, or yellow and tan skin, or I want the patch skin. I want the Ghost Rider 2099 skin. I want the Spider-Man black suit skin. Those are the things that are going to sell, and that's what's going to keep things going here. So we'll see. Good luck to these guys. We'll have to check back in a month or two and see how it's doing, because that'll be the test. The first couple weeks, boom, it's going to be good. But will it have legs? Will the maps keep bringing people back? And will things remain balanced enough that people keep coming back? So right now, out of the gate, it's looking fantastic. Anyway, it's clear that Marvel Rivals has the makings of a powerhouse in the gaming world. The question now is whether NetEase can keep the momentum alive by addressing player concerns and delivering on the potential of their superhero smash hit. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the battle has just begun. And so long as the battle with these iconic heroes is this hot online, you can bet Disney will be pressured to get the MCU in line with the same iconography that is propelling such tremendous enthusiasm. So, pretty neat, man. Let me know what you guys think of this game down below. Have you tried it out yet? I haven't even given it a try yet. I might, this is not my normal cup of tea. I might have to download it though and give it a shot just for the fun of it. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I will catch you all next time. Until then, peace.